And when most Americans hear foreign firms are building plants in the United States, they think that's fantastic. But they also expect the workers at those plants will be Americans. This is why so many people were shocked to hear that 475 foreign workers were detained last week at the sprawling new Hyundai-associated battery plant. 300 of those workers were South Korean, most of them without proper work authorization. But rather than being contrite and apologetic that one of its largest companies and its associated battery-making plant violated U.S. immigration rules, the South Korean government expressed its outrage. Yeah, South Korean foreign minister said how concerned he was that their workers would be treated this way. Well, apparently he thinks money buys his firms the right to work here regardless of what our laws say. Now, the workers are going home on a chartered plane after a deal was struck with the Trump administration. But remember, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp helped broker the deal to bring that Hyundai plant to his state to manufacture EVs. It was a $7.6 billion investment, good stuff, employs about 1,200 people, and it partnered at the time with this group called LG Energy Solution to build this adjacent battery plant. Obviously, without the battery, the car doesn't work. And that's scheduled to open next year. This is where this happened. An attorney for several of the workers detained say his clients were there on special short-term B-1 visas. Okay, we'll see. Several. The 300 were arrested. Neither the U.S. nor the South Koreans have given us the specifics about these workers. Now, President Trump was asked about this case over the weekend.
When they're building batteries, if you don't have people in this country right now that know about batteries, maybe we should help them along and let some people come in and train our people to do, complex things, whether it's battery manufacturing or computer manufacturing or building ships. So we're going to look at that whole situation.
Okay. A lot of people were scratching their heads at that one, not quite sure what's going on there. But here with his take is Victor Davis Hanson, Senior Fellow at the Hoover Institution. Victor, the president might be talking about this very narrow category of foreigners who are allowed under certain circumstances to come in under these very short-term visas, and it maybe a couple of weeks. Doesn't seem like that was the case in this particular battery plant. But your reaction to what America First means tonight?
Well, I was a little shocked at the reaction of the South Korean government. I mean, for 75 years, the United States, at the cost of $36,000 lives, created South Korea's freedom and protected it. And I thought they wouldn't jump to the gun and would restrain themselves a little bit, after all, but they didn't. And it's a larger problem, Laura, that it's very easy to destroy the border and let in 10 to 12 million people and say it's moral to break the law, but it's very hard when you have to find them and you've got to do something with them and deport them, and people say it's amoral to enforce the law. And that's the dilemma that we're having. And we used to have E-Verify under previous administrations that the Obama and Biden administration watered down. Trump's trying to resurrect it, but it made it very clear that the employer would be the ultimate person responsible for hiring people that they knowingly did not fit or could not verify their immigration status. And that's kind of inert now, but that's really the best way to handle the whole thing, at least in a public relations way, because every time ICE tries to do the right thing and enforce the law, they get all of this criticism while these employers sit back and say, we're not culpable, but if you put the onus on them and say you've got to follow the law and verify your employees, then they will be the frontline people who are breaking the law, and ICE will just be responding. But they're trying to warp this whole mechanism to put the onus on ICE for just trying to enforce the law as they see it. And that's the problem, I think.
Yeah, apparently people have been looking the other way on this for some time. I mean, this has happened for years and years, where foreign firms build facilities in the United States and for a period of time bring in a lot of workers. Sometimes they stay, And a lot of times they're not authorized to stay. But people kind of look the other way, saying, oh, we need them, they're special expertise. I don't know about the special expertise idea, because I remember a few years ago when the H-1B visa issue came up with Disney. Remember, Victor, I think you were on my radio show at the time when those American workers were forced to train their foreign replacements, and the utter humiliation of the American worker saying, you're not going to get your severance package unless you train your foreign replacement. So I'm not sure what was happening here, but the reaction can't be, we're going to make it easier for people to bring in foreign workers. That can't be the reaction.
No, and that's the key. Are they workers or are they management? Because I've lived overseas a lot, and I've met a lot of American management who, you meet them casually, who are training executives and managers in foreign investments, but you never, ever see rank and file American workers en masse going into South Korea or Japan or China to actually work in the factory. It never happens. So something's not being told, and we need more clarity. But generally, the employers have to take a responsibility to obey the law. And I know that the Wall Street Journal and a lot of the libertarian right are really aghast at this, but the alternative is what we've seen under Biden, which is utter chaos and a mockery of the law.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.